but he'll have a couple.
A couple what? Catches?
He'll remind me of Antonio Brown last year. Like, he'll have moments, but for the most part, he's not going to be worth too much.
Not going to be worth anything.
We graded the rookies. Now we're using that information to look at how they went in the draft and analyze their opportunity, because opportunity is just as important as their skill. So today we're going to have some early rankings. I wouldn't use this to draft your fantasy team with, but it's a starting point. We put together these charts, these analytics. We posted a few. We'll post this one here. However, the actual rankings that come out, they're going to be for our Patreon. It's $1 a month, and that will get you in with the giveaways. Jerseys you see here, as well as all these analytics. Welcome back. So today, we're ranking some of these rookies in their new locations. I think the top 3 are going to be very debatable, and at first it was easy for me, and then we had discussions between our staff, and we were all pretty close, but there was some adversity. As I went out into the real world, I found out we were really kind of far apart.
I think a lot of people are right now. So
I'm going to save the top 3 for the end. They're going to take the longest discussion. So we'll start with 4. I believe in this point in time, if you were looking at all the rookies, the 4th best player in the best position, fantasy relevant wise, is Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is an elite talent. He's on a good team. The only reason why he's not one is because tight ends typically take longer to actually become that guy.
Yeah.
Kelsey took a little bit. Kittle took a little bit. It's just how that transition happens. However, I think Kyle Pitts can start this year. I just don't know. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
He ran more routes than most wide receivers in college. So I think his transition is going to be that. I don't know how much they'll use him as an actual tight end.
I think they'll use him there as a lot. I mean, you still got Julio there on the outside with Calvin Ridley.
Yes. I think there's going to be a pretty simple game plan for the Falcons, and that's just have Matt Ryan wing it to one of these elite people.
Like the running back there, though.
What?
Yeah. Wait, what?
I don't know what you said. That's why I said what.
Oh.
You like the running back?
Yeah, I like the running back there. They got Javian Hawkins. I actually got him down here at 8. I think he could take over that starting job. He's got to beat Mike Davis, and I think he can do that.
I don't know. Mike Davis I was in love with last year. I was like, I don't think they need Christian McCaffrey because Mike Davis was that good.
He was that good, but
he wasn't a Christian McCaffrey.
I think that a lot of people are overlooking Hawkins because of that. I don't think Davis is solidified. Yeah, he could do it, but I don't think he does. I think Hawkins can take it over, not necessarily as a 3 down, but he could at least get 2.
Yeah, I have him as a shot in the dark. Lower on my list, I have him at 34, and the reason for that is because they have had Todd Gurley. They have had.
End of his career.
I don't know if they even know how to utilize a running back correctly, other than, hey, get me 2 yards because it's 3rd and 2.
Maybe, but it's a high-powered offense, and I'll take the starting running back there.
So who do you have it for?
I have Travis Etienne. I actually have him 1 ahead of Pitts, and he's an elite talent to me. He was top 3 running backs between Najee and Williams. He was drafted high in the first round, about mid-first round. That he's going to get the opportunity, and as much as I like Robinson, he's got to play at least equal to him starting.
Yeah, I don't know, man, because Robinson was only good because of the receiving workload he got.
Yeah, Etienne looks like he's going to get that.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think either one of them can really break out unless one takes completely over.
Maybe.
They're both really good, and I just think that's a slap in the face. And if I was Robinson, I would probably not be happy.
I wouldn't be happy, but what are you going to say? You're an undrafted guy.
Yeah, but what else you got to show? What do you got to prove at that point? I mean, the only thing Travis Etienne did is take money out of the pocket
Robinson.
of Robinson. At 5, I have Jamar Chase.
Give him 5.
I have him 5. I think running backs are more important. Therefore, they're harder to find. There's less of them available. So I rank wide receivers a little lower, and I think Kyle Pitts is a better wide receiver than Chase. I like Chase. I think he's got a good future, as long as his quarterback can have both his legs.
I mean, that to me is low. As I said, that's where I got Pitts, but I mean, Chase is my one. It's more than just this season, though. It's long-term value on him. Is you got to take him there, and I think he's a solid receiver for the next 10 years.
Okay, well, on that note, for everybody who clicked ahead to find the top 3, let's just do that right now. You have Jamar Chase number 1 overall.
Yeah.
I have Javonte Williams.
Okay.
I have Javonte Williams because when I graded out the running backs, he had the highest grade. And that's not enough to rank someone number 1. However, he also went to a situation that I think is going to have a much better season. I think the Broncos, they kind of had the 49er effect where they just had a lot of injuries. The difference is the Niners are just better.
Yeah.
So they could still win games.
I think the Broncos have great depth this year, though.
I think the Broncos can really take off with Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams is a little bit faster than Phillip Lindsay. And he's twice the size.
He is decent size.
I think Javonte Williams is going to be a bell cow for his potential. That's why I have him number 1. And a lot of people like Najee Harris. I like Najee Harris. I have him too.
Yeah, that's where I have him. I have Najee too. Just the opportunity alone that's why I'm going to take him. Steelers, they get their running backs. I actually have Javonte 3 though. I wasn't high on him when they first drafted him. I didn't like the landing spot, but the more that I think about it, I really like it. I thought Melvin Gordon would be a huge problem. He'll probably be the goal line back, and that's fine because I'm pretty sure all he will be. I like Javonte to take over pretty much everything. Maybe a little bit of the goal line. He might be able to get that, but I think everything else is his. On an offense that could be high-powered, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on Drew Lock.
Yeah, I'll give Drew Lock a shot. But Javonte, I think, is going to be a bell cow. Najee Harris could be a bell cow as well. The only reason why I have him second, which the unanimous right now is Najee, number 1 overall. He's the best. All rookie fantasy drafts are going to happen. The problem is the Steelers have probably the worst offensive line in football at this point.
It definitely has gotten worse, but they still have a passing game.
Yeah, do they?
They should.
Well, we'll see how Big Ben can continue. He's not had a good year in a couple years now, and he was sacked more than any other quarterback in the NFL. The Steelers quarterback.
I think Najee will be fine as long as he stays healthy.
It was, and I could be wrong. I don't remember. I don't have it in front of me. But I think it was 12 years before they were even in the bottom 5 for sacks. That's how.
It was a while.
So now, the end of Big Ben's year, now they have a bad offensive line. Their left tackle allowed more pressures than any other left tackle. Their guard, who was good, is gone. They
got a couple guys. They drafted a guy. They got a little bit better. It's not going to be as bad as last year. I don't
think Connor was as bad as he played last year. I think that's offensive line.
He played up banged up the whole year though. I think it's a little bit of both. But the line definitely was bad though.
So my biggest issue is offensive line, and my reasoning is because Najee Harris, however, is a big back. He likes to dance. He likes to avoid. He likes to juke. He likes to do finesse things, even though he's a big guy. He has the ability to power through, but he doesn't like to play that way. And with that offensive line, he's going to have to do a lot of that. I think they would have been better off taking Javonte because he's more of a physical back.
Maybe, but whoever's in that spot is who I'm taking.
Number 3 is a little riskier, but I think he has the ability to have just as much upside, if not more, than the 2 I just mentioned. And that's Trey Sermon.
Ooh, I like it.
I was not huge on Trey Sermon with his skill level ability when we graded him out. Graded fine, he just wasn't as good. And the opportunity is in a crowded backfield, a team that likes to rotate running backs. So a lot of people are like, yeah, he's probably not going to be a great pick. But as we saw last year, the Niners can put anybody back there. and he's going to run all over the place.
That's the scary thing, though. Can be anybody.
It could be.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, stars aligned last year, and they had one running back because of all the injuries, and he was fine. So there's nothing that has told me that they're going to continue with this giant train of running backs when they let two of them go. And now they have Jerick McKinnon and Trey Sermon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's a chance Trey Sermon is the guy.
I think there's definitely potential for Sermon to be the number one rookie in this draft class this year, fantasy-wise. The potential is there. I'm not sure on that team that just rotates them. That's just a snap of the finger. It's just too dangerous. I can't put him that high. I have him actually down at 6, which is, still pretty good, but not top 3.
Moving down a little further, I'm going to go down to 6, since I did Pitts and Chase. And you guys can follow along. This chart is in the description. Jalen Waddle is my number 6. I think he is the guy that's going to have the most volume because of both need and want. The Dolphins, they have to protect and promote their quarterback.
Yeah.
They have a solid one. They have a decent tight end. But Waddle will fit in there. And I think he's going to get the most actual volume.
He fits good, but I think he's going to be a big boom bust player.
I think if he cannot become that reliable slot or transitional outside, then yeah, he could be boom bust. I envision him to be the second coming of the wide receiver for the...
Talking about Landry?
Yeah, Landry. Damn, you read my mind. The second coming of Landry.
That's good, but it's not exciting.
No, but getting 7 catches a game every game makes his floor very high. I think potentially he could be
I don't see him doing
the
that.
highest volume at wide receiver. He might not get very many touchdowns, but he might get like 77 catches for 1,000 yards and 1 touchdown, which is really damn good.
I think that's his ceiling. I don't think he'd reach that. Just because he's boom bust, I don't think that Tua can provide him as a number 1 consistently enough to do that.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not going to give up on Tua yet.
I'm not giving up on him, but it's definitely not going to be fixed this year. I don't assume that. It might get a little bit better, but it's still mouths to feed.
Next, I have Delmore. And I'm really back and forth on this guy. I like what he brings to the table. I know that they need young receivers. I think he's a better version of Christian Kirk. I think he can take over that role.
He might be able to, but he should be able to take over at least the number 3 role, which is still seeing something.
Yeah, I can see in the years moving forward that they choose between Isabella, who I think is better upside, but he's very, very boom bust, over Christian Kirk. I could see Christian Kirk ending his contract and walking away, and then Rondale Moore fills in that spot, which is good.
Yeah,
it's a good offense.
Yeah.
So that would solidify him with a good role and a good offense, and I think that's why I have him this high. I like his future. It's going to be a guy you draft high and then can't really recoup, which should lower his value some. But,
yeah. I'm pretty low on him. I have him at 24. I don't see him getting in there and getting a whole lot, at least this year.
Yeah. So I think his potential future is something if you can afford to sit on a rookie. This is about where I think
put him on the taxi.
It's worth. Yeah. So
where are we at 8?
We're at. I did 6, 7.
Yeah, I had Hawkins at 7 and Sermon at 6.
So sell me on Hawkins.
The starting running back for the Atlanta Falcons. Is that not enough? I think he could take it over. And for what you'd probably have to give up to get him, it's cheap. All he's got to do is beat Mike Davis. He can't do that. Mike Davis he's good, but he's definitely beatable. and he's getting younger.
All right. Armand St. Brown. I like Armand St. Brown. I had a hard time ranking him. I put him down at 18, but I had him as high as 10. I didn't know exactly where to put. I like him.
I have him at 8.
I like him. I have him down.
What do you have him? 18.
I have 18.
So you have him 10 spots lower. Why do you have him so low?
I don't trust him.
No?
On this.
I think he can play right now.
I think he probably could.
I think he'll start day 1. And Jared Goff, he's not a terrible quarterback. He can produce 2 receivers. I mean, one elite one and then number 2. But he can produce 2 receivers. And I think Amon St. Brown could be the number 2.
Yeah, but it's the Lions.
So?
I think the Lions have a quarterback who is going to have a favorite guy.
Which is anybody.
It could be anybody.
Anybody.
So he's going to have that safety blanket. He does like possession receivers. So Cephas, whatever his name is, I think Cephas is going to end up being that guy.
I think it's going to be St. Brown and Cephas.
So I don't know.
I think Perriman gets beat out.
Yeah, I don't think Perriman's going to do much more than run a streak twice a game. Perriman should have done better with the Jets just because they don't have anybody else. He should have got sheer volume, but he was never open.
I mean, yeah. You put Cephas on the outside. I would put St. Brown in the slot, and then you could have Perriman on the other side.
Number 8, I have Michael Carter.
Ooh.
I have Michael Carter 1 spot over Travis Etienne. I think Travis Etienne could be a Kamara. But with that being said, he's going to have to prove it. He's going to have to show it. Until then, he's got to timeshare it. I don't know. There's a lot of things that could happen there. Michael Carter, on the other hand, I have a weird, like this whole running back room where he came into. Okay, you have P. Ryan. P. Ryan was a 3rd-round pick. So was Michael Carter. Okay, they brought in Ty Johnson. Well, they paid capital. This group of coaches, this GM, paid capital to bring him in. And then they bring over Tevin Coleman from the Niners, since that's the system. So you have a guy that knows the system, 3 guys they paid capital for. So you have to think, oh, it's going to be a rotation like the Niners. Yeah, the Niners also really rely on a fullback. The only one that can really play that role is P. Ryan. I think P. Ryan's going to be the fullback role, so take him out. I think Coleman is there to mentor, be a good locker room guy, and be just a backup. Just a guy to support and teach the system. Which leaves Ty Johnson and Carter. And of the 2, I think they both will get a shot. I think they both could succeed. Now, Ty Johnson is free. I think you could do an entire draft and he's going to be there because nobody's paying attention to this kid. So, if you're going to get a free guy, I take that. That's fine. But if you take Carter, you got to take him this high because there's going to be a Jets homer.
You have to take him this high.
There's going to be a Jets homer. And if you have both of those players, one of them is going to submerge. And the reason I say that is because that line is good. They have a 350-pound left tackle that's mulling people over. Mm-hmm. They just got the best guard since the Colts got what's-his-face.
I'm drawing a blank on his name.
I'm drawing a blank on his name too. But he's a monster guard. So you put that 330 pounds next to that other 350 pound. They pulled in that center who did struggle last year, but that's because everybody on the offensive line sucked. Mm. He was a Pro Bowler just 2 years now, I guess. I think he can come back. And that makes that left side, if anything else on the Jets, that left side of that offensive line is made to run the ball. And they're going to be the best. Like, just an offensive line standpoint. Which puts him in a very advantageous situation where it's not going to be hard. I think Carter's good enough as a running back to take advantage of that.
I think he's very good. I'm definitely not that high on him. I have him at 17. I think he does have high potential, and the line is good. I will agree with that. But I think it's going to be a split at least between Ty and him. But Coleman's definitely going to be there throughout the year.
I agree. Coleman's little. Ty Johnson's little. Carter's a little thicker, but they're all pretty undersized. They're fast guys, basically, elusive fast. So they're going to run hard. They're all young, except for Coleman.
Yeah.
Okay? They're all young. Coleman's old. Coleman could get hurt. These young guys are going to run like their life depends on it. They could get hurt. Look at the Niners last year. They had 4 running backs go down.
Yeah.
Whoever's
but
there.
They also just had a rotation the entire year.
Whoever's there is going to be like the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, Mostert. Got no problem with Mostert, but he's not an elite running back.
I mean,
he was
the upside,
a top guy.
That's just high for me.
Possibly. And this is all debatable. When our rookies come out, we'll have a little bit different, but I still really like Carter.
Number 9.
That was my Etienne.
You have Etienne. That's just so low, especially for a guy drafted in the first round for me. But for 9, I got Devonta Smith. The talent is there alone, so that's why I put him here. But I'm not sure if this offense, how good it can be. Can it produce number 1 receiver? And if they do, is it him? Is it Rager because he was there already? Who is it?
I have it at 12. I think Devonta Smith will be solid. But I don't think he'll ever become elite because of that team and that organization.
Yeah.
I think he'll be a solid guy you could throw in the flex without worry. Probably right away.
I don't know about right away. I want to see Hurts first.
Yeah, but Hurts is going to have to find a guy. Everybody's on the same playing field. I don't know. I could see him being a solid guy. I just don't like the upside because the Eagles.
Yeah, I think his upside is capped.
The Eagles cap wide receiver upside.
Yeah.
I have him at 12, so I'm not too far away. At 10,
that's where I had Waddle.
I have Kenneth Gainwell.
I can't really disagree with it that much. I mean, it's a little higher than me. I have him at 12, but I can definitely see it. Miles Sanders got hurt. He couldn't really handle that bell cow row, and the Eagles never really wanted to give him the bell cow row. So I think Kenneth Gainwell will come in here, get some touches, and maybe take over more of a share than Sanders.
Well, I have him this high because I believe he could do fine. But if you have Sanders, I think you have to get this guy.
Yeah.
As a handcuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a good handcuff. I don't know if it's going to be like the Colts where the rookie takes over the role because Sanders is fine.
Well, he took over the role mainly because Matt got hurt, although Taylor is better.
I agree with that. 11, I have Kadarius Toney.
Toney.
I like Kadarius Toney.
I like him, but not on the Giants.
The Giants.
I don't know. I mean, they got Galladay, so he's definitely number 1. So that kind of helps take some pressure off him as the number 2. But is he the number 2?
Toney is a poor man's Galladay, and I was huge on Galladay when he came out, and I got him for free in our dynasty fantasy league. Okay, and everyone's like Galladay ever since. I am now pulling back because honestly, Galladay has yet to ever show he can do it. And I'm not talking about a game once a year. Like, he's never showed that he could actually be that guy. But the unanimous consensus is he is.
Yeah.
So, you have a guy that everyone believes is super good, that doesn't really do shit. I think that number 2 in that system's going to get tons of volume. Maybe that's Shepard. But I think he can get in, learn, and he's going to build rapport with Danny
Dimes.
And I can see them eventually coming to the conclusion that Galladay is too much money.
He's definitely expensive. But I mean, they have it.
When I graded these guys, what did I say? I said Toney has the potential to be that number 1, to be the guy. Can he get there? I don't know. But if he can learn under Galladay, because he does do some things well, I think that transition could make Kadarius Toney have the career path that we saw in the Saints with Michael Thomas. I'm not saying he's the next Michael Thomas, but I can see that being real close.
I mean, that's a bit of a stretch for me, but I mean, he definitely has good upside for his talent.
I mean, but you're talking late first round in a rookie-only draft. That's the type of player I want to pick there. I want to pick a high-potential guy. There's a fine line between safe and high potential, and I think this is low for Kadarius Toney.
I mean, I guess just it depends on where you need to go. If you need a running back or receiver, and how highly you value that position.
Yes. And every team's different. Maybe you're loaded at one position or the other. But that's why we discuss values and trades, so you can actually move up or down the draft if you're in a dynasty league, and how to maximize those. Number 12 is where I had Devonta Smith. A lot of the same reasons you had yours.
All right, that's where I have Dwayne Eskridge. I think he has a lot of potential with the Seahawks, mainly because Russell Wilson's there. But, I mean, he's still low.
I like him. I have him really low. I have him 32, and the reason is he's just a shot in the dark.
He's a shot in the dark.
He's a complete shot in the dark. I mean, there's a lot of things where they don't have a quarterback, or, he can't get market share, or there's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts. I do like him, though. But I would have him mid-third round.
I would take him in the second.
So 13, I have Trevor Lawrence. 13 is like the first pick in the second round if you're a 12-team league. I think that's about what you would take for him, and it's not this, and it's mainly because everybody loves quarterbacks.
Yeah. A lot of times he'll be towards the end of the first.
If I'm drafting Trevor Lawrence, you're looking for that Kyler Murray type quarterback who immediately can start and be solid for you. Or you can take the hype train, make a decision, and just basically trade him for more value than a second-round pick.
Possibly.
Because I think that'd be very doable.
Yeah.
Especially right away. You draft a guy, it's Trevor Lawrence. You watch maybe the first game of the season, which he'll have a good game. Most rookies have a good game the first game because it's very orchestrated. They have tons of time to prepare. They have a full script. He has a good game. Look at Marcus Mariota. I think he threw for like 4 or 5 touchdowns his first game. Never had a good game since. So I would take him, wait for that first week, and then trade him. You could probably get a first-round pick next year, and you just flip to second for a first. Yeah. So that's the only reason why I have a quarterback this high. I think he's a good quarterback.
I mean, I have him there. If you're going to take a quarterback, that's where you take him. And with as good as he is, I think he's worth it. Top of the second. I wouldn't pay a first, though. 14 was angering to me. I was pissed. Because I fell in love with Chuba. Yeah.
I fell in love with Chuba.
Yeah.
I would take him this high just for the chance that he gets the ability to see the field.
Well, do you think McCaffrey is traded?
I don't know, but I think McCaffrey, and I said this all last year, he doesn't fit the system. Of course they'll use him. He's fucking awesome.
It just seems like he's going to get traded somewhere. Because I think they don't really need him, and they're not going to utilize him to his full potential, and they could just get good value for him and a certain player that they need.
Yeah, Chuba is not McCaffrey. It's not McCaffrey.
That's a great pick.
And honestly, McCaffrey, he's going to win. He's going to play. He's going to start. Chuba's not that good.
No, he's not going to beat him out.
But I really want him to get a shot somewhere, and for him to be just stuck behind an elite running back like that, it kind of killed him. I don't know what's going to happen. But I think his talent is there, and if you have Christian McCaffrey, this guy is 10 times better than a Davis.
Oh, yeah, he is better than Davis.
Take him.
If McCaffrey goes out for a year like that and then he was there, I think this is a completely different story, and McCaffrey definitely is out for his money.
Yeah, I think there's the really high potential with Chuba. That's probably the best handcuff of these rookies.
I have Rashad Bateman here. I I think he is just a phenomenal player, but this position where he got drafted I think it's terrible. The Ravens, Jackson's not going to produce a number 1 receiver, top 12 receiver. I don't think so. Maybe in a certain week, but it's just a terrible quarterback for him to have, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I have him a little lower than you, but it's about the same spot. I have him at 20. So, we'll do 15. We'll wrap it up with the top 15. If you want to go further than that, it's in the description. Just look it over. If you want any in-depth analysis of any of these guys, most likely we have it on our grading video.
Mm-hmm.
Number 15, I have Randre Stevenson.
Randre.
I think Randre, I made an allocation of what type of player he was. Do you remember what that was?
He's a LeGarrette Blount.
LeGarrette Blount.
That's exactly what he is.
Where did he go?
He went to the Patriots.
I think he is a LeGarrette Blount.
He is.
And I think they think it too.
Yeah.
He might get 50 yards this season, but he might have 25 touchdowns.
He might have 25 touchdowns. It's a serious possibility. I mean, as long as Cam Newton isn't stealing the goal line every single time, he definitely has major upside, and he's so cheap right now.
Yeah, I really like Randre Stevenson.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's possible to just... And they have a lot of running backs. They have a lot of things going on, but I think it's possible that they see the same thing I saw when I broke him down. And I think he is a LeGarrette Blount, and he's going to get the goal line.
I have him at 19, but honestly, if Cam Newton were to, say, sit the bench and Mac Jones comes in, I think Ramondre's value goes up quite a bit. Yeah, quite a bit. You aren't seeing the goal line from him. He's going to get more yards in general. And a lot of times our running backs get hurt, so he might just have to step in for a few carries.